All right, guys, we are live. Welcome back. My name's Jason. Welcome to my little stream channel. Tonight I'm working on this little beer Stein. And last night I blocked out the basic shape here in Blender. And pretty happy with how it came out. And tonight I'm gonna be taking it over to Zbrush. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna at least I think I'm going to select everything. What's going on? Well, let me select. Oh, there he goes. Okay. I'm gonna select everything. And before I do anything, I'm gonna just join it all together. Oh no. I have to apply this mirror mod first. Cursor to center. And now, J. That should be one mesh. Yep. I'm gonna try to center it first. For some reason my... There we go. Turn snapping on. There we go. So go front, and I'm gonna scale this down right now because it's kind of huge. There we go. It's still pretty big, but that's okay. Let me see front. Bring it up. No, let's bring it all the way to the ground plane. There we go. Control A, location. Location and scale. And I have Zbrush launched up here. And I'm going to go ahead and just launch this with the one of the default starter files. And now I'm gonna hope that this GoBee app works. Let me save this first. Sometimes I have bad luck with the GoBee app, but when it works, it's fantastic. And it worked, all right. Yeah, that's still huge. Let me see. Size is my brush. Yeah, I might have to let me hop back in Blender and scale this a little more. And then let's send it again. That's better. All right. Now we can get to sculpting. All right, so let me get this matte cap. This is my new favorite. I'm gonna split this into separate parts. So let me see, auto group. Why isn't it working? There we go. Select that, Hold W, and then I'm gonna split mask points. There we go. And now I'm going to split this off. Mask that. Split mask points. Then make that one group. Yeah, that should work. And I'm going to give this a quick Dynamesh. Jump right up to 512. I don't want any blur. And let's go. All right. Solo that out. That's fine. It filled that in, but that's going to be hidden by that anyway. Okay, so get the good old trim dynamic. Turn symmetry on. Local symmetry. I think I want the Z on. Z. Nope. That should be fine. And I'm just gonna. Oh. Come here, you. Got off to a little bit later start than normal tonight. I was taking care of some stuff around the apartment here. I'm gonna knock these edges down. Ooh. Sometimes you gotta warm up a little bit. I didn't have time today. Another hot day. Why is it? Sometimes it's a little finicky, I noticed. There we go. You know what? I think I dynameshed it a little too high. Let's go all the way back. Back to here. There we go. Or maybe here. Here. There we go. Try 256. No blur. Yeah, that's a little better. Still a little mushy. I have a bad habit of jumping into too high of a resolution. And I've been doing a bunch of other little props that match this style. So I really have a good frame of mind for what I'm trying to achieve. Man, well, let me close Blender. I don't know if it's just the stream giving my computer a hard time, but it seems like it's a little more sluggish than usual. me. That's not really gonna do anything, is it? Oh. Just soldier on. Got a got another idea for some of my other props. I think I'm gonna take a break from the props and start doing some of the environment parts. I'm gonna start working on the tiling floor. I was thinking of doing a little stone, tiling stone texture. And I'm going for the like a World of Warcraft type, almost World of Warcraft-y look. Speaking of World of Warcraft, anybody been playing lately? I recently got back into it. I mean, sort of. I don't know if I'm gonna play very long, but pretty cool. I like the vibe of the new expansion. It feels like the kind of reminds me of the game when it first started, when it was very very Horde versus Alliance. I'm wondering how do you guys feel about that? I know some people are a little, from what I understand and have been reading, they're not excited that that Blizzard is going this direction with it again. It's just kind of like, that's the game, man. It's World of Warcraft. But that's just my point of view, you know. Knock these edges down. I don't know if it's just because it's huge, but I feel like it's so much mushier than usual. Try a different brush. It seems to be a little more handleable. Make me turn the Sculptress Pro on, man. I shouldn't have to. There we go. little brain dead tonight. Tired. Try to knock this piece out. I don't know. For those of you who have been joining us here, you might have heard me mention that I'm in the process of moving, and with that in mind, coming up here real soon, and probably tomorrow is going to be my last day to stream, unfortunately, because I have to break my desk down, pack up my my gear, my computer. I've been holding off to the last minute, but I don't want to get stuck trying to move everything all at once. I made that mistake the last time I moved, and this time I just want to have everything ready to go. That way when I get the truck here, I rented a U-Haul, I can just park it outside in the front of the apartment and just load everything in there. Yeah, last time I kind of made the mistake of waiting till the last 2 days, and then I had to get everything packed up in a panic. And I didn't have time to do a good cleaning. I like to try to clean my apartment before I leave, because that way I make sure I get my deposit back. Because y'all know how that goes. But anyway, so I'm with that in mind, this is going to be, tomorrow will probably be the last stream I do anyway. I do have a couple videos that I was gonna edit, but I don't have any editing software, and I've tried some of these free ones. And I just don't know enough about editing yet. But I'm just gonna go ahead and post them and share them with you guys, so that there's something here to sort of entertain you while I'm in the process of moving. I don't want to leave everybody hanging. And I just wanted to let you guys know so that you're not wondering what the hell is going on. Because that is like the worst. I mean, not just with streamers, but just in general. Nobody's likes to not know what's going on. It's like, hey, I showed up to your little stream last night and you weren't there. And then the next day and the next day. And I don't know what my new schedule is going to be like in my new job in Arizona, so gonna have to work around that again. But it's all good. But while I'm in the moving process, I was wondering if you guys have any questions or ideas on things you want to see as far as 3D modeling is concerned that I could attempt to try to cover. Keep in mind I'm totally in the learning process, so I'm not Blender guru. Let's just put it that way. But I have been messing around with Substance Painter a lot lately. I'm getting pretty decent with it, I guess. I'm not gonna say I'm good, but I'm definitely getting to a point where I feel competent. If there's anything you guys want me to kind of touch base on, and with that, again, within the reason of or within my skills. And coming up in the, once I get to Arizona, the nice thing is we have a spare bedroom. So we're gonna kind of make that our office. And I don't want to say studio because I'm not trying to have a studio. I mean, my girlfriend's still got to do her thing too. So it's definitely gonna be a shared space. But I will be able to arrange it in a way, hopefully. I haven't had a good chance to walk through the place and check it out, but want to arrange it in a way where I can talk at normal levels, because I kind of have to keep it down. It's late here where in Oregon, and in order to prevent my computer from overheating, I sit right by the window. Did I do these inside parts? No, just that top one. All right, I'm gonna have to get a little more aggressive with these. I don't know why that the trim smooth brush was being so aggressive. Just smooth all this out. But yeah, so that'll be nice. I won't have to be right up on my mic like I am now. I mean, it's not really in the way, but it sort of gets a little distracting sometimes. This mic is great, by the way. I was using the mic on my Arctic 7 SteelSeries headset, and it got me by when I was first figuring out how to stream. I'm still figuring out how to stream, actually, but I definitely realized right away that it wasn't the ideal sound for live streaming. Like it's fantastic for gaming, especially with, like, you know, it's accurate. But you know, when you're gaming, your buddies and teammates don't really care. As long as they can hear you clearly, that's all that matters. All right, I think that's get the yep. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to actually be able to have a normal space for our stuff, because the one bedroom apartment acting as a studio house and office is pretty rough, to say the least. Especially on like the days where my girlfriend had to work in the morning, I couldn't just stay up all night and stream or play games, which I do sometimes. But yeah, while I'm in the process of moving, hit me up with some comments and questions. If there's anything you guys are interested in seeing anyway. I use Blender, Zbrush, and Substance Painter and Marmoset Toolbag. You guys haven't tried Marmoset Toolbag out yet, it's super cool. Especially for, I really like baking my textures maps in it because it's fast and it gives you a lot of control. I mean, Substance is good too, and it's pretty fast too. All right. Let me Dynamesh that one more time, and let's try this brush. Oh, super aggressive. You know what? I'm just gonna go with my old divot style. Turn it up a little. It's like to kind of go through and add a little bit of surface noise with the clay buildup brush. Then I go through and knock it all down. And it kind of gives it a very subtle but noisy look to it. I find that it ends up baking out in the maps pretty well. Like, it looks ridiculous right now, but bear with me, it'll look halfway decent in a little bit here. And the symmetry won't really affect it too much. When I knock it down, I turn the symmetry off, and it kind of gives each side its own unique look. Oh man, I don't have backface masking on. Never too late to turn the backface masking on. It's annoying that it doesn't just remember that. I guess I just saw on the Ask Zbrush channel that you can save the settings for your brush, but I was like, that's kind of annoying that you have to do that every. It's like, it should just be a universal thing where you turn it on and it's on. Hopefully they'll update that. I mean, it's just me being nitpicky, but it'd be nice, you know. I'm just hitting the Alt key every now and then. So instead of adding it, digs in. Try to keep it pretty random. Just continue down here. And I have no pattern or rhythm that I use. I just kind of wherever the cursor lands is where it lands. Funny, I'm like, I haven't been excited to move in so long. I'm actually pretty excited to get down to Arizona and see how my new job works out and all this stuff. And I'm not I'm just working in a restaurant. I'm not working in a 3D environment, unfortunately. Definitely nowhere near good enough to be hired for 3D yet. Not that I really considered it. I've been doing this as a hobby. I mean, it would be pretty sweet though. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. It's tough though. I can only imagine how hard it would be to get a job in the industry. The quality of the artwork now is just so good. It's a little smaller. But you never know. Who knows, right? Could happen, I guess. And I might win the lottery too. Okay, that part will be underneath. And now, this is a little big. No, I'll leave it. Whoops. Just gonna go through and knock it all down a little bit. Probably should make this smaller. This matte cap, the angle of it makes it look like you're digging so far in sometimes. Need to find a different matte cap that still shows the like I was using this one, this pearl cavity. But sometimes I lose the detail, the visibility. It's like a little too bright. I think I can make it just a little darker. There we go. Good to switch it up. Hit it with a different couple matte caps so you can kind of see how it's responding. And I just kind of massage it. Give it a little massage. It's funny, every time I see somebody else like a professional doing sculpting, I always feel like I'm doing it totally wrong. I'm like, wow, I am not doing that right. But, you know, you just gotta keep going, you know, I guess. I really enjoy digital sculpting. Super fun. Now somebody was asking me why I stream it. And I was like, well, I'm gonna, you know, I don't want to spend all my time, my free time anyway. As much as I love playing video games, I was like, I needed a hobby, you know, like something that was like semi-productive but something that I was still interested in. And after trying a couple different things, I got into digital art. And in the process, I came across Zbrush at one point. Actually, about probably almost 2 years ago now. The funny thing is when I got Zbrush, I literally hated it. I was like, this is stupid, like, because the interface is so bizarre. It was so different than anything I'd looked at. I mean, like I literally did not know what I was like. This is impossible. Not impossible, but I was frustrated. It is a very bizarre interface, especially compared to like the other 3D programs. But once I broke through that barrier, I love how customizable the interface is. There's some things I don't like, but it's definitely much more of a pleasure to work with. So if any of you are just getting into ZBrush and you're frustrated with the interface, I feel your pain, but it's worth getting through it. It is such a fun program. It's so definitely the most like free feeling as far as just doing what you want to do. Super fun. It doesn't look like there's much surface area there or surface noise, but once I bake the maps out, these little surface details really come to the pop out. These just surface details come to the surface. Did I really just say that? But yeah, the normal bake and the curvature bake and everything really help emphasize these little details. If you're going for like a kind of like a stylized metal look, or even anything, it's like if you leave the surface, or at least I found if you leave the surface too flat, like if you just kind of slightly go through and ding it up, it barely registers. And you get a kind of a boring normal map. As far as stylized stuff is, because I mean that's kind of what I think the goal of stylized textures and things are. It's like you really want to features that would never really pop out to pop out. Like big, chunky, but exaggerated in areas where it shouldn't be, kind of. I'm gonna start trying to get some editing skills going with I think I'm gonna try DaVinci Resolve. A buddy of mine uses it, and he says, well, he's actually makes a living editing videos. They have a free version, and for a free version it's extremely powerful. And I was like, are you sure? Because you know, sometimes like you get the free version of something and it's like the watered down version. It's like, oh yeah, here's our free software. You have none of the features. I hate that. That's so annoying. But no, he said it's quite good. And the nice thing is I'll have somebody to help me learn when the time comes. Because I have a bunch of my streams archived here on YouTube. And so if you're interested in seeing some of the other things I'd worked on recently, they're all there. But they were live streams, and there's parts I wouldn't mind kind of editing out. Not editing out, but like, you know how you can speed them up? Because some of it's tedious. Like this part I would just do the, like a time lapse. Because I mean, it's cool for like anybody who comes by while I'm streaming. They can kind of see the whole process. And I get an idea of how long it takes and all that stuff. Because that's something that I don't like about time lapse is like, it can really distort your perception of how long it actually takes. Because I don't know if you guys have ever thought that. I was like I know these guys have it in time lapse, some of these really amazing digital artists, but it's like, it is it like, how time lapsed is it? Am I just that slow? Like, but some of them are super fast. Some of these guys are crazy fast. But that's not my goal. I don't care about being fast. I just want to have fun, make the stuff I like. Speaking of making the stuff I like, my goal with this is to have I'm going to make a diorama. And I'm kind of leaning towards something kind of like an inn, like a small inn, like a little outpost inn. Something you would see like in a barren area in like in World of Warcraft. I know. Everybody's burnt out on World of Warcraft. It's fun though. It's fun to jump back in. Like, I like to jump back into that game, but only for like like maybe a month or two. Jump back in, see what's going on, wait for a new patch, and then let them kind of patch everything up. Because it's so easy to enjoy the game the way they have it set up now. All the looking for raid stuff and the looking for group and dungeon. It's like, unless you're super competitive and you have a guild that wants to do all that stuff, you can see all the content without the stress in it now. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. I remember raiding with my old guild, and sometimes it felt like a job. I'm not gonna lie. And we did pretty well. We weren't a top guild or anything, but it definitely took the fun out of it for me for a while there. Oh, you know what game I'm excited about is Darksiders 3. I can't wait for that game to come out. That's one of my all-time favorite series. I'm like kind of bummed but kind of excited that they saved they didn't use I think it's Strife. He's like their gunslinger. But instead of, they went with Fury. I mean, she looks super cool too. I can't wait. I just love the art style of that game. The art style and the world that they've created is just so different and fun. Yeah. So I'm just smoothing this, if you guys are wondering, with this AJ polish brush. One of the brushes I found on the Zbrush forums, I think. If you're semi-new to Zbrush or new, definitely check out those Zbrush forums, because they have a lot of like cool info, some tutorial links and stuff, links to people who make matte caps and brushes, and most of them are free. Like, it's very some of those guys release brush packs, and then I'm like, I guess some people need those, but like, let me, if you pop the brush thing up, there's so many brushes, it just gets confusing. I almost never use anything outside of these brushes now. I'm curious if any of you guys are planning on getting Darksiders 3. And if you are you gonna get the collector's edition? The I think they called it the Ultimate Doomsday Edition or something, like Apocalypse Edition? Or was that Fallout? I think that might have been Fallout. Speaking of Fallout, how do you guys feel about Fallout 76? That is another one of my favorite games. Game worlds, I should say. And I'm like kind of excited but kind of nervous for the multiplayer thing, because that's something I always wanted, but now that it's gonna be real, I'm like, well, you know, sometimes I like wandering around in the wasteland by myself. Hopefully I think they know what they're doing though. They're a very innovative game company. So many good games coming out this next year and this next couple of months. Good time to be a gamer. Good time, hopefully soon too, to be a PC enthusiast, because we can hopefully either buy hardware for an affordable price again, now that the Bitcoin mining thing is dying off. And supposedly Nvidia is going to release a new graphics card. So I sure wouldn't mind getting one. I wanted to. This last couple of months I was like, oh, maybe I'll get a new graphics card. So I have a 1070 right now, and it works plenty fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but I wouldn't mind having a little more power. You know, it would just be nice, especially for like some of the software I use too, like Substance Painter. From what I understand, leans very heavily on your GPU. It's a little too much right there. Those things in there are driving me nuts. I'm gonna have to fix that. Not on the whole thing. This is just my ADD kicking in. Oh, I have to turn back face masking on for it. Let's try that again. There we go. Totally unnecessary, but I just... It distracts me. Keeps making me think I made a mistake in here. Kind of gotta pay attention to that when you're using the symmetry tool, because you can make a detail somewhere you had no intention of making. And if you catch it too far down, don't catch it soon enough, I should say, it can be a pain in the butt to try to get rid of. And that's just the planar brush, if you're wondering what that was. That's the this one. That one is one of the brushes that just ships with Zbrush. Right, metal bands. Let's give that like a darker. I think that looks pretty good. And let me go back to that one. Let's put some of these. I wonder this one. I think it's this one. see. There we go. I like this one. Turn symmetry back on. See how big this is. Oh, that's a little too big. Whoops. You know what? I should make them a little big. I want them to look a little exaggerated. I guess I should start here. Looking pretty good. Uh-oh. Damn, I didn't think that through. Let's see. I'm gonna have to do one right here. Come on, work with me. There we go. One here. And then one right there. And up here, I'll just do it. You know what, let me do this one first. They don't have to be perfect. They almost shouldn't be perfect, to be honest. So I want to make sure it's not sitting over the surface. Now I'm going to do one, make it smaller, even though that makes no sense, but I'm going to do it anyway. There we go. Do the same thing down here. Clear the mask. And see, let me jump back into a regular brush. Going to group it by similar groups. And let me pick that one. I think I'm doing this right. I'll do that after. I was gonna apply the some poly paint to it so I can use a color ID mask with the poly paint, or the poly paint for a color ID mask. That's good. And then this part here, whoops, will be the barrel. And I think I'm gonna call it a night and do that tomorrow because it's pretty late. It's past midnight and I need to be at work. Yeah, so there we go. Metal bands on a little medieval stylized beer mug. Beer Stein, the Beer Stein. Let me turn that. Give it a little BPR. There we go. All right. Oh, and save. Okay. Did I make a new thing for this? Beer mug. There it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell into the mic there. Beer mug. I'm trying to get into the habit of making a folder for each, like software. So I have like B files is Blender files, Z files, Zbrush files. And I'll do SP. Oops. SP. Substance Painter. And one for that way it's just a little easier to keep track of stuff, because for a while there I just had such a bad habit of putting everything wherever. Your mug. All right. I'm gonna call it a night tonight, or for now, but I will be back tomorrow, and we'll finish up the wood. If you guys want to see the rest of the process, I have the blockout. It's on YouTube. You can go ahead and check that out. And if you want to check out the stream tomorrow, hit that subscribe button and the notification thing. That way, as soon as I start streaming, it'll let you know. Everybody who came by, thanks for stopping by. My name's Jason, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.